Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a concept that, well, it might be holding a lot of us back, especially if you're hitting 60 or beyond. It's the traditional idea of retirement. And the source material we're digging into today really flips the script on this. It suggests that what we often see as the ultimate reward could actually be, well, a trap.
Yeah, that's a strong word, trap.
It is. The core insight right away is, for many people, the moment you officially retire, it might not be an ending you planned, but sort of the start of life shrinking down.
Right. And our mission in this deep dive is really to pull out those key insights that can help you, navigate that potential shift. We want to move past just slowing down. That's the usual advice, isn't it?
Always slow down, take it easy.
But instead, explore how you might actually speed up into a new phase, a phase with real purpose. This material offers some pretty unconventional advice, but also a practical framework.
Right. So let's unpack that trap idea more. The source is making a really bold claim here. It's saying that traditional retirement, the one sold as this great prize, might actually be, and this is a quote, the beginning of the end.
Oof.
Yeah. It forces you to ask, okay, what really happens when you stop engaging, when you stop learning new things, stop growing? What are the actual consequences?
Exactly. And this perspective doesn't pull any punches. It details some pretty negative outcomes when that engagement stops. And there's data, too. Research cited from the Institute of Economic Affairs suggests that around 40% of retirees experience clinical depression.
40%, that's huge.
It's a staggering number. And you see it reflected in personal stories. Like William's story, the source. He's 67, retired a couple of years back, did exactly what everyone tells you to do, relaxed, slept in, watched some TV. But slowly, it says, his spark began to dim. And it wasn't about being lazy. It was just the purpose disappeared. The structure, the challenges of daily life, they were gone. And this often leads to that feeling, that really profound feeling of becoming kind of invisible, or asking yourself that quiet, awful question. Is this?
Yeah.
Is this it? Is this all that's left? The source argues that's way too common.
That dimming spark, feeling invisible.
Yeah.
It's a really sobering picture. Okay, so if the conventional wisdom is actually harmful, what's the alternative? What does this deep dive suggest fills that void?
Well, the core argument, and it's central to everything here, is that purpose isn't just a nice to have. It's framed as being like oxygen for your brain, your body, your soul. It's presented as, frankly, not optional, especially after 60.
Not optional, okay.
Think about it. An empty calendar, no deadlines, no real reason you have to get out of bed.
Yeah.
At first, that sounds amazing, right? Total freedom.
Yeah, sounds like the dream.
But this material warns that too much freedom, without any direction, it just becomes drift. You just drift. And if you drift long enough, you can genuinely lose sight of who you are. Gloria's story is a perfect example here. She's 72, retired math teacher. And she honestly felt like she was fading. Her word.
Wow.
Until she found a new purpose. It was small to start just tutoring 2 kids from the neighborhood once a week. But that simple act, it didn't just help them. It basically brought her back to life.
That's incredible. Gloria's story really makes it tangible. And like you said, it's not just stories, there's science backing this up. This emphasis on consistent, purposeful activity. I mean, we're looking at studies, I believe, from Harvard Medical School.
That's right.
Showing seniors who stay engaged in this way can cut their risk of Alzheimer's by, what, up to 30%?
Up to 30%, yeah. That's a massive finding.
It really is.
And the analogy used is quite good, I think. It's like a car engine. Leave it idling forever, it gets weaker, right? Doesn't perform as well.
Sure.
But give it a road, give it a destination, keep it running properly, and it stays strong. Purpose literally keeps your brain firing better for longer. That's what the science suggests.
Wow, yeah. 30% risk reduction. That really hits home. It's about giving our minds that road and destination, like you said.
So this brings up a really common question, I think. A lot of people listening might be thinking, okay, purpose sounds great, but what if I just feel tired, especially later in life?
That's a very real feeling for many.
Absolutely. And the material tackles this directly. It has this counterintuitive but really powerful point. Energy doesn't come before purpose. It comes from purpose.
Okay, say more about that. Energy comes from purpose.
Yeah. It talks about an energy loop.
Yeah.
And there's a scientific term, dopaminergic return. Basically, when you're doing something you find rewarding, something meaningful to you, your brain releases dopamine, which gives you motivation and, well, fuel. Energy to keep going.
Oh, okay.
So that chronic tiredness, it might not just be physical aging. The source suggests it could actually stem from a lack of meaningful stimulation. Your brain's just not getting the right signals to power up.
Okay, so we've got the trap, the need for purpose, how energy actually comes from purpose. But how do we break free from this old script? This deep dive suggests our whole idea of retirement is, well, fundamentally flawed for today. It calls the traditional retirement plan an outdated script, maybe even dangerous. It says it was built for like a 1999 economy, one job for life, maybe a pension, play some golf.
Right. The world's changed.
Completely. That model just doesn't map onto the reality of 2025. And following that old map could get you seriously lost today.
Exactly. What this material makes clear is that retirement isn't really a final destination. It's a transition, a major life transition. And if you don't actively shape that transition yourself, it's going to shape you. Often not in the ways you'd hope. Meaning those who step away without a plan, without thinking about continued growth or meaning or rhythm, they often bump up against boredom, loneliness, disconnection, not the peace and relaxation they were expecting. Look at James's story. He's 69, used to work in logistics, retired at 65, standard stuff. But something felt off. Instead of just accepting slowing down, he actually started a YouTube channel, teaching younger guys how to fix old cars.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, maybe he only gets a few thousand views, not millions. But he says, and this is powerful, I feel more alive now than I did in my 40s.
Wow.
It really highlights this key idea.
Yeah.
Your value does not drop with age. Your visibility might, maybe people don't see you in the same way, but your actual value, it can multiply if you stay in motion.
And motion doesn't just mean working full time again.
Right at all. That's crucial. Motion could be teaching one class a week. It could be writing your memoirs, starting that passion project you never had time for, volunteering somewhere that really lights you up, anything that keeps you engaged and contributing.
Okay, so this is all fascinating, but the big question for you listening is probably how? How do I actually do this? And this is where the source gets really practical. It doesn't just diagnose the problem, it offers a 5-point system. It calls it a clear, doable plan, the goal, to reignite joy, drive, identity, for what it calls a second life, a life filled with passion and mission.
Yeah, and it's not about just piling on more tasks. It's really designed to help you become more, to step into something new. Let's walk through them first. Claim your second mission. This is about shifting your thinking. Instead of asking, what should I do now? Ask a better question. Who do I want to help now?
Focusing outward.
Exactly. Find a way to be useful again. Maybe it's mentoring young entrepreneurs in your field. Maybe it's getting involved in a community garden. Maybe it's just teaching something you know really well. The point is, you don't need a fancy title. You need a target for your contribution.
Okay, number 1, claim your mission. Got it. What's next?
Number 2, create your purpose ritual. This is about building daily rhythm and reinforcing your new identity. Pick one non-negotiable activity each day that's directly tied to your mission. Just one.
Like what?
Could be anything, really. Maybe it's writing for an hour first thing in the morning. Maybe it's a 20-minute walk where you pray or reflect specifically on your mission. Maybe it's making one phone call to encourage someone. Or even just dedicating time to read for wisdom, not just scrolling news feeds. These little rituals, done consistently, become anchors.
Okay, anchors. I like that. So mission, then ritual. What's number 3?
3 is crucial. Protect your energy sources. Energy isn't infinite, right? You have to guard it strategically, especially the source stresses after 60. It breaks it down into 3 areas: mental, emotional, spiritual.
Okay.
Mental energy. Maybe cut back on the negative news overload. Actively cultivate curiosity. Make a point to learn one new thing every week, however small. Emotional energy. This one's simple but hard. Choose to spend time primarily with people who lift you up, not those who drain you. Be intentional about it.
Boundary setting.
Totally. And spiritual energy. Engage in prayer, reflection, whatever that looks like for you. Ask the big questions about your purpose. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? You need to protect your sources.
Makes sense. Protect your energy. What's number 4?
Number 4, teach. Don't just tell. You've lived a life. You've learned things the hard way. You have wisdom. This framework says the next generation isn't really looking for lectures from afar. They're looking for someone to walk alongside them.
Like a mentor, but more involved.
Yeah, maybe more relational. Actively share what you know. Advise your grandkids. Help a neighbor figure out something you've mastered. Support someone going through an experience you've already overcome. This act of teaching, of sharing lived experience, the source argues, is what really makes life meaningful.
Right. Passing it on. Okay, that leaves number 5.
And 5 kind of brings it all together. Design your legacy impact. This pushes you to think beyond material stuff. Forget just the inheritance or the house. Ask yourself, What do I want to leave behind in people?
In people, how so?
Your true legacy, it argues, is the courage you instilled in someone. The stories you share that gave someone hope when they needed it. The wisdom you passed on that now lives in someone else's actions. That kind of legacy starts now. It's built day by day through your mission, your rituals, your teaching.
That's a really powerful framework. Claim your mission, create your ritual, protect your energy, teach, don't just tell, and design your legacy impact. So as you're listening to this, maybe think, which one of those 5 points really hits home for you right now? The source actually encourages you to write this down somewhere. I'm not done. I still have a mission, and I will live it out boldly. What's maybe one small step you could commit to today based on that?
Because here's the final thought, really. The world, honestly, is hungrier for your wisdom than ever before.
Mm-hmm.
You are not too old to begin again. You're not too late to matter. And you are definitely not too far gone to grow. This isn't just about you feeling good. It's genuinely about what you still have to offer the world.
Absolutely. It's a total reframing of what a full life looks like right up to the very end. And for anyone feeling maybe a bit overwhelmed by this idea of speeding up instead of slowing down, just remember that core message. You were never meant to retire from life itself. You were meant to live it fully until your very last breath. Keep moving forward. Find that fire.